Okay, so steel Rolexes are a great investment. You know, they've been going up in value. They've been doubling in value. So if you bought a popular Rolex, steel Rolex, a couple of years ago, it's probably doubled in value, especially if you bought it before the big run-up. You know, if you got a little discount from the AD, you know, you've really made a lot of money. Watches are a great investment. You know, I just heard a video yesterday, a new video from one of the popular YouTubers that he must have used the word investment 15 times in his video, that his watches are investments. And, you know, it's funny, the people that talk about Bitcoin are very cautious. They always make a statement before their videos. This is just my personal opinion. I'm not giving investment advice because they don't want to get sued later. Okay, if the thing crashes and burns. By the way, I do own Bitcoin. I am a long-term Bitcoin holder. I love the concept. I don't know what it's going to do. It may go to zero. It may go to $100,000 of Bitcoin. It's highly speculative investment. But that really is an investment. Watches, on the other hand, no. No, 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 no. We are definitely in a bubble. The steel Rolex prices are insane, and I'm going to go on record as saying that the bubble will burst at some point. Will it be a year from now? Will it be 2 years from now? Will it be 5 years from now? But there's going to come a point in time when these people have these Rolexes in their safety deposit box, these steel Rolexes that they paid a lot of money for, and they're going to be worth a fraction of what they paid for them. Not to mention the fact that they're not going to make money on them. They're actually going to lose money on them. In other words, let's say you paid $10,000 for Rolex sub-date today. 5 years from now, it'll probably be worth $5,000, $6,000. You're actually going to lose money on it. And not only is it not going to gain like a normal investment would gain, and by the way, you should be looking for gains of at least 10% a year. A very conservative investment, 5 to 7% a year. But you really should be looking for 10% over a long-term investment. That's the kind of return you want to get because you want to beat inflation. You want to actually make money on your investment. So I ran a few numbers here. And for those of you that went to public schools the last 40 years, take your time with this, write some of these numbers down and take your time. But I'm going to try to be pretty clear. Because I keep getting these messages, I don't know if they're trolls or just idiots. And by the way, a couple of people said they unsubscribed from my account. I lost a couple of subscribers because of my last video. Oh my goodness. I make peanuts off of YouTube videos. Okay, I do these to help my subscribers that are still subscribing to me. Some people want help with these kinds of things. So we're going to get this out of the way, and then I'm going to give my overall view on watches. Again, as if I didn't make myself clear in my first few videos when I started doing the videos on Grand Seiko and buying watches to use every day. I'm gonna go over that again. But let me get my little spectacles here because I am old. A lot of people made comments that I'm old. Yes, I'm old. Okay, I'm 60 years old. Okay, so I'll be 61 soon. So, okay, what do we got here? If you have a Roth IRA, which that's still available, and any of you people that are relatively young that don't have a Roth IRA, do not pass go. Open one up. It's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I'll explain why. But let's say you had a Roth IRA and you invested $5,500 a year. That's the maximum that you can invest until you get to a certain age. My age, I can do $6,500. But let's say you're a youngster. I'm addressing younger people now because a lot of the trolls in my YouTube are younger people. At least they are acting like they are. So $5,500 a year for 40 years, okay? So let's say you start out when you're 25 years old, you're going to be 65 in 40 years, okay? So at 7% return on a Roth IRA, you're going to be worth $1,180,000 and $344.65. So 1,180,344. So that's, and 65 cents. That's what your return will be at 7%. And by the way, $220,000 is what you put in if you take the 5,500 times 40. So you're $220,000 invested, and you end up with $1,180,000 and change. Okay, so, and that's all tax-free, by the way. So at the end, you've got that number tax-free. That's the beauty of the Roth, is all the growth is tax-free. Now, this is where it really gets interesting. If you got 10% a year, 10% a year, which again is a good return, that's what you should be looking for, and some good mutual funds, some high quality, long track record mutual funds. Check out Dave Ramsey. He goes into all the details on all this stuff. Anyway, at 10%, you'd have $2,683,167. Okay, so these people that invest in watches, let's say that they're investing $5,500 a year on average. So let's say, we're going conservative here, because some people I think are spending more than that on watches, but let's say they're spending $5,500 a year on watches. So in other words, maybe they buy an $11,000 watch, but that's 2 years time, right? So, but let's say that they're just buying $5,500 watches, just to keep everything simple here. At the end of 40 years, they're going to have 40 watches in their collection, in their investment in watches. They're going to have 40 watches. Now, you would have to be very lucky, and I do say very lucky, for those 40 watches to be worth anywhere between $1,180,000 and $2,683,000 in value. You will have had Paul Newman's watch, a couple of those kinds of watches, the ones that go for a ton of money. It's not going to happen, folks. It's not going to happen. Watches are not an investment. And you know my AD that I bought my 2 Grand Seikos from, including this beautiful snowflake on my wrist right now, he would rather I not say this. He would rather that people that can't afford to buy watches continue to buy watches. But the message that I always have for my subscribers is buy the equipment that will get the job done for you and that will help you earn money, and then invest that money in proper investments. The reason I believe in having a high quality timepiece on my wrist is threefold actually. I like to know the time accurately. A lot of things I do are time sensitive. And then I like the looks and the feel of a high quality item of any type. I've always been a fan of quality, from my camera gear to my car that I drive to everything I use. I like it to be functional, high quality. I don't like things that give trouble. I don't like things that need a lot of unnecessary maintenance. That's why I stopped buying Mercedes cars years and years ago. They're too expensive and they require too much maintenance. Toyotas are much more reliable, much better car. By the way, I got a lot of flack about that. I put in the comment that a Toyota is a better car than a Mercedes. People are like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You've never had a Mercedes. Well, yeah, I've had them. They're not that great. Same thing with Jaguar, Audi, Volvo. They all require way too much maintenance. They're not that reliable. They're not very good cars. Toyota, just turn the key and go. Occasionally change the oil and you're good. But anyway, I get sidetracked. So the watch, accuracy, comfort on wrist. I like a watch that's attractive, that will look good now and will look good 10 years down the road, would have looked good 10 years ago. Classic styles, classic designs. A watch can also be a tool, depending on what you're doing. If you're in a public contact business, in other words, you're in sales or something where you have to impress, dress for success, this type of thing. The watch is part of the overall look. High quality shoes are very important. People do look at your shoes, believe it or not, and they judge a lot of things by that. Of course, your clothing. You want high quality shirts with nice pinpoint Oxford or broadcloth, high quality broadcloth, preferably Egyptian cotton. You want, when you walk in, you want people to say, well, this person has attention to detail. This person is sharp. This person kind of knows what they're doing. They will give you their money. They will give you their business if they're impressed. They want to do business with people that are successful. And that's why for many, many years, when I was more in the public contact space than I am now, I still am now to some extent, but I was all the time for many years. It was very important. I did wear the gold Rolex most of the time because especially when you're younger, people will judge you by how you dress and how you carry yourself and all these kinds of things. And so if you can get an edge with a high quality wristwatch, like a Grand Seiko, for example, then that will help you in your day-to-day contact and interaction with people. Even if they don't know what the watch is, they can sense quality. They can sense that something is high quality. They might not know that this sport coat is cashmere, that it's a very high quality cashmere. But they can tell, especially if they touch it, they can tell there's something about it, okay? And by the way, the reason I'm wearing the hat is this is the hat that I wore when I went to Rolex to drop off a Rolex for servicing about 40 years ago. And I picked this hat up when I was in New York there. It was kind of a blustery day. It was like a fall day like now. And it was raining a little bit, so I needed a hat, so I picked this up, so I figured I'd wear it for this video. Don't wear it that often anymore, but it's very comfortable. It's a Stetson, large amount of beaver in this hat. It feels very nice. It can handle the rain, no problem. So anyway, that's my philosophy with watches, is buy quality watches that you can enjoy and actually use. People commenting on the watches that I showed at the Grand Seiko event the other day, and I wasn't wearing gloves. Give me a break. Gloves to handle a watch. These are not items of rare art. These are not items that should be in the Louvre. I mean, these are items to wear. These are tools. This is not a priceless, rare, 5 off Patek Philippe, right? Ultra complicated, extremely rare, $500,000 watch. These are watches designed to be worn and used. This watch needs to be worn and used, not handled with gloves. Come on, people. Come on. Really, think about the comments you make and how stupid they are. I mean, I know a lot of you all are young. You've obviously called out the fact that I'm old and, you know, get off my lawn type of thing, right? But think about comments that you put in public. I mean, you might be looking for a job at some point, and somebody might check and see what kind of comments that you've put, even on YouTube videos. They might take a look, and they might channel those to you. And they might say, you know, this person's not real bright, talking about wearing gloves, handling watches. Anyway, if you want something really nice, something really elegant that you can feel comfortable wearing and that you will enjoy, that will keep excellent time, and you want to save money and have money to invest properly, buy yourself a Grand Seiko. Don't pay way too much money for a steel Rolex. If you absolutely have to have a steel Rolex, buy a Grand Seiko and wear it for 5 years. Let the market crash let the bubble prop on Rolexes, then buy your steel Rolex. Now, by then you won't want one because you will have worn the Grand Seiko and you'll be like, oh my gosh, this is 10 times better watch. Trust me, I've had a lot of Rolexes over the years. Check out my other videos for that. You'll be doing yourself a favor if you take the money, the difference between what you would spend on the Rolex and what you would spend on the Grand Seiko, and invest that money, like we talked about. Invest it. You'll come out way ahead. Thanks for watching, and those of you that unsubscribed, I guess you're not watching. Anyway, I'll keep you all tuned, and I'll keep doing equipment review videos. And by the way, lenses, expensive lenses for cameras, they're not investments either. People talk about, I invested in glass. No, 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 no. It's a tool. It's a tool to use to make money. It is not an investment. Thanks for watching. Hey, hit the bell if you're still subscribing. Hit the bell and you can get more of these worthless videos delivered right into your inbox. Thanks again.